Hey there guys. Today I'm going to do kind of intro, I guess, to the jelly plate printing, sorry. Just to kind of show you my process and what I do. So basically it's just going to be me playing and you watching and picking up any ideas or anything that you might have. And I'm just going to start straight from the beginning. So what I do is I had gotten a bunch of sketch pads from the dollar store. I bought all of them. So I just throw a piece of paper down, and I'm gonna play on, well, I'm going to play on my 3x5, but I can't find it, so I'm going to put you on pause. Hold on. Well, that was a minor panic attack, but I found it. Scared me for a minute there. So they come in these little packages. Just peel it out. I always return mine back in here when I'm done using it, no matter what size I'm using. It already looks a mess, even though I've been doing this for not very long. So just press it on your white paper and then peel off the protective top. Put that back in your little box. And you're ready to go. So I'm using my little brayer today, my little 2-inch. I also have this size, which I think is 4, and I have another one that is not here. Oh, here. These two came as a set. I put a link to these in yesterday's video, and I will put another one today. And then I have my messy paper over here that I roll on after I use paint on there. So, then I have a bunch of stencils over here, the ones that I feel like using today. Oh, index cards. I got these at the dollar store as well. There's 100 in here for $1. You can't beat it. I use these, so I'll keep those on hand. And I'm going to rip out a few pages. Let's see. I'll rip a few pages. This is just a different little kids paint pad thing that I got at the dollar store. It's just paper. And then, you know, once you do some designs on things, like I have stacks and stacks over here of designs that I've done. And then you just tear these up and put them on some nice cardstock and collage it and everything. So it really doesn't matter what kind of paper it's on. So I'm just going to have this over to the side also, and these cards. So I don't have any plan on what I'm doing yet. So I'm just going to kind of go for it. As far as paints go, I do use all different types of things. I love the Liquitex, and I love Arteza. The Liquitex, you know, these big bottles, they're like $5, and this is a 4-ounce. So you can put on solid color. You can mix your colors. You can do whatever you'd like. For this first one, I'm going to mix. And I'm also going to put a stencil on. Looks like I've used these colors before. And I also bought black, index cards. And I think this first one's going to look kind of cool with black. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add a little red to this too. So you do not need very much. So I'm just going to put a little dot of red, a little dot of this, and a a little dot of this. This is light pink. And that other one is called ecru, or unbleached titanium, actually. Okay. And then I'm just going to brayer this kind of all together. Now, when you brayer, you don't keep the, you don't have it touching the entire time. You don't just sit there and roll. You want to go up, and you want to kind of come off of the plate like that. Go different directions, especially if you're using different colors, like so. And then always rub off on your page over here and leave your brayer straight up and down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna do half with black and then half with white, but I'm gonna put them both down at the same time. Whoops, that's gonna be interesting. And then you just want to give it a little rub. To get that off. Like so. It's not perfect, and that's okay. Unless you want it perfect, then just, you know, keep rubbing away. Like I can take this, I see that didn't come up, so I'm just going to kind of press that on right there to get the rest of that up. And then for right now, you can do one of two things. You can, I could spray it with some alcohol ink. I could take another color of acrylic and go over the top of it. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take some black. Ooh, I'm going to do the same piece. I'm going to do half of this. Half here and half here. And I'm going to rub some of this off onto this. I told you this is just kind of free-flowing today. No real rhyme or reason. But you'll get you'll get the opposite when you take that off. Like that. And then there's still a little bit left on there. So I'm going to take just white. A very thin layer. You want to make sure that this is dry though. A very thin layer of just white. And I'm going to press that on there. Sometimes I like to take just another piece of paper. You can also use your brayer and go across the back. Whatever you'd like. And if you start lifting it up, this one's clear, so I can lift it up. But if you start lifting it up and it looks like the pattern's not coming, then let it sit for a minute until everything dries and everything adheres to the paper. You can just let it sit and rest for a minute. But this will be a good piece of paper to use either as a base of a collage later or picture, or you can tear pieces off and use it in a different one. So we'll leave that over there. So that's one thing to do. Another thing to do is to use different patterns. I'm going to do a little brown. I'm going to use the ecru again. And then I have a really pretty robin's egg. This is deep sky blue. I'll use that. So little dots, little dot of blue, little dot of brown. Little dot of ecru. Just mix your colors and just have fun with it. That looks cool. So with this, I have silicone pad here that's got some cool markings in it, and I'm gonna lay that on there and press it down, kind of like a stamp. And then this is gonna make a really cool effect on here. You can take any items that you want to do this. See that? How cool that looks? So that's another little thing that you can do. I have another little mat here. Let's see. I have this pretty metallic bronze. I'm going to do a dot of that and a dot of ecru. I seem to go through a lot of this ecru. I really like it. It has a little more personality than just plain white. So I'll brayer these on. And then I have another cool silicone mat, this one, that I'm going to use the bubble side down. You can use bubble wrap too. And then just press that on. Get you a piece of paper. And then you have a cool design on there with that. There's a little bit left over. I'm gonna leave that. It's not too noticeable. Let's see. Another, oh, this is fun. I'll put a link to these tools. There's 4 of them, I believe, and they have just different designs on the sides here. And I'll show you. I'm actually going to do this one on clay, so give me 1 second. I'm going to roll out a piece of clay. I'll be right back. Okay, so I rolled out a piece of clay, and let me pick I'm going to use this, I think. It's got so much on it. I love it. And I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use the bronze again, but with some blue. The robin egg blue. Oh, that's espresso. Here's the bronze. Okay, so some bronze. With some blue. And I'm trying to decide, let me think. See, it's a very light coverage. But I'm just going to lay it on like this. And try to rub all that out. Oh, I should have done this with black clay instead. Oh well. I wanted to try it with black. Get all that out. Put that to the side. And then I'm going to clay this. And like I said on yesterday's video, I love using acrylic this way on clay because it takes forever for acrylic to dry on clay, like literal days, and even then it's still so tacky. But with this, it's just so nice. So that looks really cool. I'm gonna have to cut those out. And I still have some pattern on there. So I am going to, that's not going to lift, I don't think. Let's see. Maybe a little bit. Okay, so but to get the rest of this off, you need to put a wet paint on there. So I am going to put, what would look cool? I have a gray. I think I'm just going to do white after I just said how boring it was. Just to get the rest of that off. So we'll brayer that on. And then I never did show you the scraper, which is still sitting here, so I'll do one more with the scraper. That needs to sit for just 1 second, but we'll do this after. And let me decide what colors I want. I haven't done any purple. So we'll do some purple. Okay. Let's see. If it's cool to the touch, that means it's ready to be lifted off. That's one little tip I read about, or saw actually. Okay. And then you can just lift the whole thing off, and then you have yet another print. So cool. Hopefully you guys can see now how this is so addicting. Because you can't stop. It's crazy. So I'm gonna do a purple with, this is called phthalo blue, and then I'm also gonna add in that ecru. Okay. Whatever goes down first comes up last. So that's going to be the front of your paper. So if you sat here and layered and layered and layered, then whatever was down first on the bottom would be the top thing on your paper. So now I'm just going to make some marks. I think I'll go like this, and then maybe like this, like this. Just make some cool marks. And then you have that. So another thing that you can do when you have spaces like that is I could put it down, make my marks, let that dry completely, put another color on top, and then pull it up, and then whatever color you put on top is going to show through. So I'll show you that now. And I'm going to leave those because it'll leave some interesting stuff in there. I'm going to do some red. I'm just going to do red and ecru, I think, for this one. I don't use a lot of red, but for some reason when I do this painting, I use it and I love it. So I'm gonna do a little wiggle here and a big wiggle up here. And I'm gonna let this dry. It really doesn't take very long. I'm going to pause the camera though, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is all dry. I didn't want to leave it on because I don't think many people want to watch paint dry. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's dry. So you do want to make sure that it's completely dry, because if you don't, when you go to brayer it out, it's going to just smear everywhere. So now I'm going to put a pink, a light pink, and this, you know what, I'm going to do that copper again, or bronze. It's kind of a copper. They call it bronze. So I'm going to do these two on top, just a light layer, and I'm going to do it on black. But you want to make sure that it's just a light layer, because if it's too thick, all you're going to pull up is that paint and not the bottom part. So I'm going to put that on, give it a good burnishing. There's a recipe on how to make these jelly plates, and if you guys know me, you know that that's the next thing I'm going to be doing, is making these jelly plates. Okay, here we go. Well, it didn't come out as cool as I thought it would, but it still looks pretty cool, if you guys can see. I should have just done the regular bronze on the bottom, or maybe just single color, and then still has the blue from before, but you guys get the idea. You never know what you're going to pull up when you do it. So I think I can just show you, well, you guys know how to do stencils. Tomorrow I think I'm going to show you some alcohol ink on here. And today, I think that's probably enough for today. I will have links to everything in the description for today. Don't forget to join Happy Place Studio on Facebook. I'd love to see what you guys make. I'd love to see your shops. You guys can promote anything you'd like, within reason. But I pretty much allow for everything. But thanks for watching, and thanks for joining me on my new journey, even though I still have my clay journey. I've also gotten into something else that I'll be doing a tutorial on soon with as well. So stay tuned, guys. Subscribe to the channel, like it, comment. I'd love to hear all your comments, and get your ideas on different things also. So have a great day, and you'll see me tomorrow. Bye.